Today I'm having Budae Jjigae, otherwise known as Korean Army stew. I put Spam, turkey hot dogs, chicken pot stickers, kale, onion, these glass noodles, ramen, fish cake, rice cake, fish balls. And I typically like to put bean sprouts or alfalfa sprouts in mine, but I didn't have any, so I guess we're just gonna have to do without it. And you know what else is really good in this? Enoki mushrooms, which I also don't have, but we'll be okay. So grab your spoons, grab your forks, grab your chopsticks, and let's get started. Let's take the first bite here. It's kind of a gloomy day here, so it's perfect to have something soupy. Hot. I have this is my favorite tea. It's peace tea and it's Georgia peach. It's the best, most dense peach tea I've ever had, and it's delicious. Okay, so today I want to talk about my first boyfriend in high school, which was over 10 years ago. I think, to be exact, it was about 14 years ago. Wow, I'm old. That sounds crazy. So anyway, I come from a really conservative family, as all Asians do. And my parents definitely did not want me dating in high school. However, I have an older sister, and she kind of paved the road for me because they were very against us dating at all, at least until after college. And my sister met someone in high school, and he actually didn't even go to the same school as her. He was the brother of her friend's boyfriend, and she needed a prom date, so they set them up. And I guess they fell in love and eloped, and my parents were not happy. So they learned their lesson with her. So they were a little bit more loose with me. Hot. So I had both guy and girlfriends in high school. Sorry if you hear like a humming in the background. It's our washer, and my son had an accident this morning and we had to do a load of laundry. So I met this guy just through other people that we hung out with, mutual friends. And he was 1 year older than me. And at the time, I really didn't like him when I first met him because he seemed like he was cocky and They had money. And he was just always such a show off with his car, and it was just annoying. But he pursued me, and he was very persistent. So I gave in, and we started dating. He was ended up being a really sweet guy. But as with any, in my opinion, I don't really understand high school sweethearts. I don't really understand people who end up with their high school sweetheart and they've never been with anybody else. It's just, to me, it's kind of like only eating one kind of ice cream your whole life and for the rest of your life. And you're not allowed to try any other flavors, and you don't ever try any other flavors. That's strange to me, because ice cream is so good. Why wouldn't you want to try other flavors, right? That's kind of my take on it. So I guess probably because I didn't end up with my high school sweetheart is why I don't understand the concept, or why people do. But hey, to each its own. That's great that some people can make it work and they've lasted years and years, and that works for them. Great. I applaud them, and really it's quite an accomplishment. Anyway, it didn't work out that way for me. We dated for most of high school, I would say. But his senior year of high school was very wild. So he wanted nothing to do with me, pretty much. He wanted to do whatever he wanted. He wanted to hang out with his friends. He wanted to party. He wanted to drink. And my parents were still pretty strict. I mean, they let me hang out, but I had a curfew. And he did not. So I'm sure you can already tell how that's gonna work out. Anyway, I remember one specific night, and the writing was on the wall. We weren't gonna last. I mean, he knew it, I knew it, everyone knew it. But we were still together. Okay, so there's one specific night I remember, and this was I would say the beginning of the end for us. So there was pretty much our mutual friend was having a party, and they were all there hanging out, drinking, and I wasn't invited. They were all gonna hang out past my curfew anyway, so I wasn't really concerned. But I had this gut feeling that something wasn't right. And something I've learned over the years is to trust your gut. And I hope that's something that you figure out or that you've learned also, but your gut is almost always right. So my friend said, let's go. Let's go see what it's all about and let's figure it out. So I pretty much had to sneak out because it was past my curfew. And my friend picked me up, and we show up at this house that I've never been to before. And basically, you had to walk around the back to get into the back door because I guess they were having the party downstairs or whatever. But the back door was a sliding door, so it was a glass sliding door that you could see through. And my friend and I were walking up the stairs to get to the glass screen door. And I go up first, and as I get to the top, I can see through the doors. As I reach the top of the stairs, I can see that there was a couch against the wall, full view from the door. My boyfriend at the time laying on the couch with another girl straddling him on top of him. I could not believe it. I could not believe it. It was insane, and I had a lot of adrenaline. I remember that. A lot of adrenaline was pumping through me. And as soon as my friend saw what was going on, I opened the glass sliding door and pretty much said, "What the F are you doing?" And it was loud. It was quite loud. I mean, there was music and other people were around, which is so awkward to be doing that at a party with other people, but I guess they were all drunk. So as soon as I opened the door and said, "What the F is going on?" his friend came out of nowhere, yelled his name, and said, "Run." So the girl, he pretty much pushes the girl off of him, and he runs one way, and the girl gets up and runs the other way. And at that point, I'm having to decide, who do I go after? The girl or my boyfriend at the time? So, of course, I go after my boyfriend. I don't care who she is. I don't even know who she is. That doesn't really make a difference. She was drunk anyway, so I go after my boyfriend. So we make it into a room, and I lock the door behind me, so it's just him and I in the bedroom. And I was really upset at this point. I mean, it was my first relationship that I'd ever been in, and you don't really know how to act yet in high school and how to be in a relationship, so it was already tough enough to try and figure that out. And on top of that, to catch him cheating red-handed, it was really hard. He was really drunk, so it was really hard to even fight with him. But I'm pretty sure, it was a really long time ago, and I like to block that out of my head, mostly because it was a long time ago, and we were kids. And I don't know what he's doing with his life right now, and honestly, I don't really care. And so all the details are kind of blurry. I'm pretty sure he wanted to work it out and wanted to come back with me to my house, but I just couldn't. Our relationship was very volatile after that, and we lost friends. We had to have friends choose between the two of us. It was, at the time, quite devastating, but I'm so grateful and thankful that that happened, because it showed me how I wanted to be treated and how I didn't want to be treated. You know, my dad always says, you don't really know what's good unless you know what's bad. So that was just the beginning of everything that was bad about that relationship, and I'm glad I was able to get out of it. I mean, at that time, in the moment, it's so hard to think clearly, and it's so hard to see light at the end of the tunnel, but there always is light at the end of the tunnel, and you always grow from it. You learn how to recover. Pretty much that was like my first heartbreak, and it was hard. And thank God I didn't end up with him. But it was crazy. I mean, I think back to that experience, and people have their partners and their boyfriends cheat on them all the time, but it's hard to catch them because some people are just really good at being manipulative and hiding things. But to be able to catch somebody red-handed and realize that you felt it in your gut that something was wrong helps you to learn to trust yourself more, I guess. But after that, I didn't date at all until I went to college, because it was just a lot to recover from, and I just wanted time for myself and my friends, and it was worth it, because that's not what high school should be about. You should not be finding your boyfriend cheating on you in high school. I mean, you should just be enjoying your life in high school, having fun, enjoying activities, enjoying dances, going to football games, just experimenting and hanging out with your friends. I mean, that's what high school should be about. And I definitely learned my lesson after that. I think after that, though, he realized what he did wrong, and he just kept trying to get back together. And he actually followed me to college. He transferred so he could go to the same college as me and try and get me back. And the worst part about it is, because his parents had money, they figured out, I mean, they could get info easily from the college. They figured out which dorm I was gonna stay in. And first day of moving in, freshman year, guess who I see down the hall from my dorm? First day that I move in, him. He somehow figured out a way to not just live in the same dorm as me, on the same floor as me. It was terrible. It was so awful to have to start college that way. I mean, I'm over it now, but at the time, I wanted to kill him. I mean, not literally, but I wanted him out of my life, and he just kept following me and kept trying to win me back and pursue, and it was incredibly annoying. we never did ever get back together. We did learn how to reconcile and be friends, because when you go away to college, of course you're gonna know everybody who went to that college, who is from your high school or your hometown. So we had mutual friends, and sometimes we would all ride together home for the weekend, carpool. So I learned how to be friends with him, which I'm grateful for, and it was challenging, but I'm almost glad that he did that. It really, really helped me learn forgiveness. I was really able to find a way to be friends with him genuinely and really not have any intimate feelings for him ever again. He actually would hook up with, I guess they're not my friends now that I look back, but he would hook up with some of my friends and hooked up with my roommate. It was disgusting and annoying. But it definitely taught me a lot about life. I mean, I got through it, so I'm grateful for that. If you've never been cheated on, it's just a different kind of feeling. It's gut-wrenching and devastating at the same time. And it's hard not to blame yourself. But like I said, there's light at the end of the tunnel. And you eventually get over those feelings and you move on and you find somebody else. You know that saying, once a cheater, always a cheater? Yeah, that's a saying for a reason. I just don't think you can ever fully 100% trust them again, ever again. I think you can get close to trusting them, and I think you can start to live with it, but I don't think it'll ever be the same. I mean, look at Ross and Rachel from Friends. Remember how she said, I just don't see you the same way. Like, I saw you as somebody who would never ever hurt me, and it's just, everything's changed. It's so true. It changes everything. I'm almost glad that he cheated on me, though, because I cannot imagine still being with him and still living in that small town and not being able to explore living in different places, traveling. I mean, that's just invaluable. Life is too short to stay one place your whole life. And the world is such a big place. Explore. That's one thing I'm going to totally preach to my kids is don't settle for less. Don't just settle. Explore. Be adventurous. You only get one life. Why are you living it like you have 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 lives? I mean, you have one life. Live it the way you want. Learn, discover, explore, create. That's my motto. Eat. Travel, even if it's just for food. It'll be worth it. Okay, I think I'm done. Thanks for joining me today. If you have a similar experience to share, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe. And until next time, see you later.